Boy, oh boy. There they are. Everybody's here. Give me a minute here. Give me a minute. Good morning. Good morning. Let's see here. What is the deal? All right, let me see. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Yes, I think this is it. Okay. Had a little mix up. You know, when I don't know why they do this, YouTube, but what they do is they make you put the setting to landscape because they want so bad that you're like TikTok on YouTube. It's crazy. They want you to be just like TikTok, just like Instagram, where people are looking at everything and everything is vertical. Everything is in the portrait mode. I don't want the portrait mode. I don't like the portrait mode. Most people don't. For me, I don't want to do that. I don't know. But I don't want to record in portrait mode. Let me just set this here. It's a little off. There we go. So when I went in this morning, I don't know what happened. I probably forgot. It's me. I'm the bad guy. I forgot to make the setting the right way. So here we are. So now we're back on another channel, another stream or whatever, and I have no idea what I was doing. I mean, I had everything all set up. Yeah, I don't know where anything is. I don't even, I knew the title, but I didn't know the whole title. And the thing is that um, when I set it up, I knew what I wrote, and so I thought I was okay. But once, hang on, once I, what happened was once I hit abandoned stream to the first stream, then I was screwed because it didn't save anything, and I have everything is all saved. I have everything the way I want it. I had the description in there. I had this. I had that. So now here I am, and I'm still working on this as I'm talking to you. But today is what? Today's a Thursday. I didn't even know. I came to the coffee shop yesterday, and it's 2 for 1. You get 2 for 1. I didn't even know that. I mean, I know, but I forgot. So no free drink for me. But it would just been another espresso, since that's what I'm drinking now. I'm not drinking the chocolate anymore. I'm not drinking anything other than what I'm supposed to drink, which is an espresso or a coffee. All right, I'm almost done here. I'll just put this in. All right. Boom. Done. Okay. Now here we are. Now I can start. Now the thing is that for the good morning, everybody, and Fort Lauderdale. That's where I spent my time. That's where I spend my time when I go home too. But it's been 13 years now that I've been making videos, and I don't know how many years live streaming. They haven't had live stream. I've been live streaming from the very beginning. It's like 5 years, 6 years. I don't know. I don't remember. Um, and I've been answering emails. I've been reading, all these bar girl letters and all these letters about what should I do? How do I do this? And then it's like, if somebody asks me something intricate, I'm like, hey, listen, I'm not here to spend time on everybody who writes me. This is a consultation. You got to pay. You want something where it's going to take me an hour or two. I'm sorry. So I've been doing that. And really, I think I've taken a couple of maybe 4 or 5 days off from like live streaming. But the only time that I can remember that I've taken some significant time off has been about 3 years ago, when I went to Ecuador and I went to Amsterdam, I went to Ireland, I went to Portugal. I don't remember where else I went. We went to Hong Kong. Um, we went to many, many places. All right, let me put these on. That's the only time I've taken any time off. And to be honest, I made videos while I was traveling, and I also streamed a couple times. I think 2 times I streamed in those 3.5 weeks that we were gone. So, you know, I haven't taken any time off. You may think it's time off, but I always have stuff to do, whether it's related to, my family or my kids or whatever it is, or YouTube. YouTube's a lot of work for really. It's fun sometimes, and it's great, when people, hey man, you really helped me out with that, okay, that's great. But it's work. That's just what it is. You got to do things, you got to spend time. And sometimes I'm like uploading something and it's like uploading really slow. So you're sitting there for 2 hours waiting for something to upload. And then like at the very end, it just says something like, the internet cut off or whatever it is. And you're like, son of a, so you have to just keep going. So in a way, I am tired. And I've been tired. And I've been wondering, why am I so tired? And I don't mean like I'm crashing and burning or anything like that. But I don't have a time where I can just sit back. Maybe at night I go home. Usually I watch some fights or I watch some kind of show for an hour or two, sit with my kids, hang out, talk to them, eat. That's like the only time I really get off. Everything else, I come here, which is, I don't have to do it. But then I think, do I want to sit at home? No, I don't want to sit at home in the morning and when nobody's there or nobody's around. So I just figure, okay, I'll come here because I'm going to go to the grocery. I go to the grocery, like almost every day. I didn't go yesterday. I got to go today because I need tomatoes and I need some cheese. What else do I need? I haven't made my list up yet. It still hurts. Still hurts. It still hurts, but it not quite as much as in the beginning, but it still hurts. It hurts to lift it up. So, I think it's time for me. I have videos going up. There are videos going up every couple of days. So it's like, the videos are going up. For like the next 2 months, the videos will go up. But I need at least a few weeks where I don't stream, where I don't have to think, okay, I've got to be to YouTube. I've got to check my YouTube. I've got to see how these are doing. I don't even want to check how my videos are doing. I already know I'm not going to get rich from YouTube. I never thought I would. I know I make a little bit of money and, it helps out a little bit, and that's great. But I don't have to look at it and think, oh my God, I've got to look at my YouTube. I'm going to delete my app off my phone because I don't want to look at it. So that's kind of what's going on. If you don't know who I am Scott. My name is Scott. All day long. and I've been here for, well, almost going on 31 years. So yeah, there's that. And it doesn't make me an expert about everything. But I was thinking about something. People write me sometimes and they say to me, "Oh, Scott, you're not an expert. You're not an expert." And I go, "Okay, well, the thing is that you can say I'm not an expert. I don't really care. I never claimed to be an expert. All I claim to be is somebody who tries to have the answers, and I have a bit of experience here. And you know what? I got more experience than most people. And it's not because I'm any better than anybody or anything like that. I've just put the time in. I've done the Nana. I've done the Sheridan Rivas. I've done the Spazo. I've done the, what was that, CM2. I've done the the Dollhouse and the Clinton Plaza and Therme and what's the other one there? Soy Cowboy and Pet Porn. I've done all of those things when I first came here for years. Now I don't even want to do them. They're not even fun to me. I've gone to Pattaya like 50 times. So, say what you will. I mean, listen, I've almost gone to jail. I've worked here in several capacities. I've worked here where I dealt with the government. I dealt with generals. I mean, I've been a journalist here. I've done things online. So, like, I've done a few things. Now, I've never worked as a bar manager because I didn't want to be one. Never wanted to deal with women and, hoes. I just didn't want to deal with their bullshit. I'd rather not deal with them. You know what I mean? I don't mean to be a prick about it, but I would rather not deal with women who are griping and groaning who are going, can you give me 2,000 baht now? I know you pay me 2 weeks. Pay me now 2,000. Pay me now 5,000. I never wanted to deal with that. And I knew people. I knew the guy who owned the Dollhouse. He's dead now. I knew the guy who owned Rock Hard a Go Go. I don't even know if he's around now. He might be dead. In fact, I think he is. The guy in Phuket, I think he's dead now. I don't know if he died from laughing gas or overdosed on laughing gas. I don't know. But he might not be here. Is there a 3? Yes, there's a part 3. Okay, it's coming tomorrow. Relax. It'll be here. Okay. This is what I mean. I'm glad you like it. I've done it once before, but in a little different way. And I think that's the finale. That's it. And then I have another story coming up about the taxi driver. I mean, I have too many things to go online. I'd have to put them up every day. And yeah, there's not going to be a part 10. I'm sorry. I'm not that interesting. I'm barely interesting for have 3 parts. Sometimes I think about that. When I put the title up for this, why I'm taking it makes me sound like, oh, I think I'm so important. No, I don't think I'm so important. It's not that. I figure, hey, I might as well stream now today, and that's it for at least like 3 weeks, maybe a month. I don't want to come back on. I don't want to be here. And it has nothing to do with the people or any of that kind of stuff. I just want to relax, man. My wife sent me a message yesterday in Thai. It's this Thai video. And immediately I hear them saying tsunami, Indonesia, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, son of a bitch. She's in Phuket right now. And in tsunami, the volcano down there. There's a volcano. And it's erupting. And it's erupting every so often. And so there are underwater earthquakes. And those underwater earthquakes are what cause tsunamis. So she's saying, well, the news is saying we have to be on the lookout because in the next sometime this month, maybe in the next week or two, there might be a tsunami and I don't want to be here. And I said, well, you're coming back tomorrow, so don't go back there. You're not going back there for at least another month. Okay, okay. But we were going to go down to the south. We were going to go to Suratani. And as often has, sometimes we're going to go and then we just don't go. But something happened down there that was very serious. And we don't need to be down there right now. That's all I'm going to say. And it was a serious matter with her brother. And we just don't need to be in that area right now because it's not safe. So then we thought, okay, she's been saying to me, where should we go? I want to go where there's crystal blue water. I'm like, all right, let me do some research. I'll tell you exactly where we can go. So I have a couple places that we might be able to go, but I know her. She's going to go, oh, but the tsunami. But it's not even on the same side. So I don't know what we're going to do, but we may go, and I don't know. I may take some video. If it's 2-3 weeks from now, maybe I'll stream, or maybe I won't. I don't know. So that's kind of what's going on. Yeah, I'm taking a vacation, like a real one. You know, like 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, that kind of vacation. And I'm just worn down. You know, I'm just like, every day I get up, I do the same thing every day. I wake up 4 o'clock, I get out of bed at 5 o'clock. You know, I have my coffee or have my tea, whatever it is. I've been drinking tea lately with mint. I have a little breakfast, you know. So basically what it is I'm taking the time off so that I can concentrate on taking care of myself. Another thing is that 2 months ago, we were told, okay, you're going to get the upgrade for your insurance. I said, okay. Then they sent me a message, but, oh, you got to fill these things out. I said, okay, fine, I'll fill them out. I fill them out. So then I asked them, what's going on with my upgrade? You said I'm going to get an upgrade. So they send me the message back. Oh, we found something else, and you got to answer this, and you got to answer that. And so I thought about it, and I just thought, son of a bitch, these insurance companies, it seems like all of them are a bunch of dirty, rotten dogs. Never do you talk about an insurance company and go, oh, they're so fantastic. I've only had one insurance company that I did that with to where I thought really highly of them, and that was William Russell Insurance in the UK. They were great, but every single year they bumped my premium up 10%. So in 5 years, my premium went, and I was at like $350. And at that time, I was like, I'm not that old. Why does it have to be $350? It was ridiculous. And I couldn't afford it. It was getting to the point where I couldn't afford it. And it was just taking money away. And I was just going, you know what? I'd be better off putting the money. I understand now why you put money in the bank and you don't have insurance. Because these people, my insurance company and maybe others, they're going to make it extremely difficult for me to have the premium that I want, which is like $2.5 million, you know, something like that. Hey, thank you very much, Dean. Appreciate that. Have a chong or a coffee on me. I'm not going to have a chong, but I'll have the coffee on you. Now, I will drink, you know, a glass of wine once in a great while. But, you know, the other thing, Scott has taken a vacation from, I'm not taking a vacation from a vacation. You might think I'm on vacation, but Jesus Christ, I can tell you, when you got two grown boys who eat like horses and you're at home and you're like, okay, I'm going to be chilling. I'm just going to be a couch potato. I'm going to lay here. I'm going to watch TV. I'm not going to do anything. Then I'll go somewhere when I want to go there. That doesn't happen. That's not how it is. There's always stuff to do. You know, my kid had to get a police report. He's got to go take the police report to the company today. I mean, he's got all kinds of things to do. I got to make sure that he knows what to do. He's all set up, you know, and I let him do that stuff himself. But I got to, you know, I always double check and verify. So, you know, and it's not only that. Listen, my wife works and she does very well. And I'm very happy about that. I'm very happy because when we started, I made a shitload of money before YouTube. You know, I made 150 to 200,000 a month, and it was basically cash. And so, you know, slowly but surely, she's got up to where she's making the money. And I mean, I make money. I don't make quite as much as she does now, but she works very hard and she's dedicated. And I'm like, listen, if you didn't work, I don't know what you would do. And I thought to myself, hey, you know what? If we went to Portugal, we went to Ecuador, and we lived there, what would my kids do if they weren't living here? And I don't know. They'd have to work for us. We'd have to create a job for them. And I don't want to do that, to be honest. I really don't want to create a little Thai restaurant or coffee shop or something. I just don't want to do that. For me, it's like I don't know. My wife's got more drive than me, but I don't have that kind of drive anymore. You know what I'm saying? So they're going to have to be here or somewhere. If they're going to be with us, the reason I would be there is because of the cheap health care. But then I look at it here. Listen, if I went to a public hospital, the health care is very cheap, pretty cheap. You go to a private hospital, depends on what the procedure is. I mean, they talked to me about my shoulder, and it was something like 500,000 baht. Talked to me about my hip a long time ago, and it was between well, it was 300,000 ultimately in Chiang Mai, and then in Bangkok, it was anywhere from 450 to about 600,000. So it wasn't that expensive. When you got to shell out 20 grand, I'm not too happy. You know, I yeah, I'm not too happy. So, you know, that's another thing. Figure out what's going on with us, and you know, do we want to be here? Because we can be here and live a good life here. We live a good life now, but I'm thinking about in another maybe it's in another month, but it could be in say 10 years when if I start having health issues, am I going to have to be paying through the nose? Because if I'm living here, I'm not getting Medicaid, I'm not going to get Medicare, I'm not going to get my VA coverage, so I have to think these things. Um, so that's that, but uh, yeah, I don't want to do anything, pretty much. I want to do whatever I want to do. You know how when you first come to Thailand, well, I don't know, maybe you do know. Maybe you know about this. If when you first come to Thailand, this is what happened to me. When I first came to Thailand, I get here. I got money. I got money in my pocket. And I thought to myself, what do I have to do? And I thought, I don't have to do anything. I don't have to call anybody. I don't have to make sure of anything. I didn't have to do anything. If I wanted to wake up and just lay in bed all day, I could do it. If I wanted to wake up and go have a nice breakfast and then go out, you know, find some company, whatever I wanted to do, I could do it. And that is a freedom that most people will never know because they always have responsibilities and they can't get out of them. And I think that's a big reason, honestly, I think that's a big reason why guys who are, say, from 30 to about 50, maybe 55, why they don't come to Thailand sooner is because they have too many responsibilities. And also because they're thinking, oh, if I tell, you know, my friend I'm going to go to Thailand to live there, they're going to think bad things about me. Or, you know, I mean, I just think if that's kind of how it is. When I came, I thought I got no responsibilities. I cleared all my responsibilities. I was like, you know, I sold, gave away, or threw out everything I had. And I just thought, I don't really, all I have is money and some stuff that I carried with me. I don't have anything. And I just was like, I can go anywhere I want, do anything I want at any time that I want. Now, when you're young, that's a nice freedom to have. As you get older, you start getting more responsibilities. And then, like now, I think to myself, oh, I love to live on some island. And then I think about it and I go, yeah, okay, I'm going to live on an island. All right, what island has the best hospital in case something happens to me? What if I have a stroke? I'm not talking about right this minute or anything like that, although it could happen. What about in 5 years if, I'm standing and I have a heart attack? I got to go to the hospital or I'm going to die. Boom, they take me to the hospital and I'm saved. But that's in Bangkok. What about if it's in, Samui and we're going to have to medevac you to Bangkok. So I'm starting to think more like that, which is why a place like Ecuador, a place like Portugal, there's a few other places. I think Spain, but it's a little more difficult. Let me see here. To get to a place where you can get medical care for almost nothing or nothing. Let me see something here. Because I was looking at this the other day. Where was let me see. 1 second. Because of, okay. All right. Clean summary. Well, we're already in Thailand, and basically, everybody is covered by the universal coverage scheme, which I am not, but I can still go to a public hospital. So it's a good place. This is a good place. If I go to a private hospital, it's going to be more expensive. My insurance will cover it up to a point, but that's why I wanted the upgrade. If you go to Ecuador, you can get free healthcare, or you can pay 75 to 100 a month after 1 to 2 months of residency. And I got a friend there who lives there. In Portugal, I also have a friend who's moving there in about a year, and they have excellent health care, and my wife likes it there. The only thing is Lisbon might be a little bit too expensive, so you go out to another place like, what is it, Nazares or something like that. My friend lives in Ayampe. So, if I go back again, which we may, I'd go to Ayampe and see him, and then we would all go and travel like to Cuenca or Manta or something like that. I don't know. But we did go to, what was the name of it? Puerto Lopez, which is like a half an hour away. I'm looking at Lisbon as a retirement option, just looking for now. I would look outside of Lisbon. I think it was Nazares was a place. Portugal, let me see here. Not currently chosen. Spain, your wife liked it, but Portugal was preferred. In the U.S., I have full health care from the VA. So, why don't you move back to the U.S.? Because I don't want to. Let's see. What were in Portugal? Let me tell you what they were. Okay, Lisbon was one. Porto, Coimbra, Faro. That's a little more expensive. Expat heavy. Braga. Let's see. Yeah, Nazare. Central West Portugal. I don't know. Personally, I like to be up near the beach. They have actually close to there, Praia do Norte. They have the biggest surfable waves, and I know the waves there get big. If you like that, it's more quiet than Algarve. Lower cost of living than Lisbon or Porto. slower pace, and still within the reach of Lisbon's hospitals if needed. And there is some expat presence. So that's an option. And I think about it and I think, would that be an option for me? Not right now. Not at the moment. It's not an option. In the future, maybe. In 5 years, in 3 years, maybe. I don't know. It really depends. Depends on, it depends on how stocks do, how we earn. It depends on a lot of things. But by then I'm 68 years old. I'm like, I'm an old man. But at 68 I could go somewhere else. I don't know. I don't know. It really depends. So those are some options that I have. And they're also, really, if we needed to leave right now, we could. But it would throw a wrench in things, and we might not be as well off as we are here, and we might not be as well off as we'd want to be, but we'd still be okay. We'd be all right. Now, I don't know. I think it's a good thing I take a little time off. But I need to recharge the batteries, recharge the machine, and all that. Just figure out what to do. And I know there's a lot of people out there. Oh, you're just a YouTuber. Oh my God, I get sick of these people. I never wanted to call myself a YouTuber or a vlogger. I never ever wanted to call myself that. I don't give a shit what you call me. It doesn't matter to me, but I don't call myself that. I don't call myself a content creator either. Maybe that's what I do. I don't know. But I just call myself somebody who picks up a phone and records. That's it. Or a camera, whatever. It's not about, can I create the greatest content? If I was going to create the greatest content, I would get into something besides talking about women at bars, how much money you have to spend every month. I would get into something different. I would get into, oceanography or, something like that. Although I'd have to, being this old, I don't know. I don't want to show off. I don't want to show off my wrinkly old saggy ass when I'm 75 years old, like Jacques Cousteau. I don't know. He had guts, man. I like Jacques Cousteau. He was very good. Now, what am I hoping to achieve from chilling out for a little while? Peace. No noise. I want to walk without thinking about what clip I'm going to make out of this or what title I need to put up on the screen, or what metric I need to chase. How many views am I getting on this? How many people are looking at this? How's the thumbnail doing? I don't want to think about this shit, really, because it's shit to me. I maybe I could just say, what, I really don't care about YouTube, but I do in a way. I care because there are people that care, what I'm doing and stuff like that. But when it comes to the metrics and how much money, all right, all that is nice, but I don't really care. I'd rather take $10,000 than $200, but it is what it is. And yeah, this is another thing. I want to kind of listen to myself again, which is what I used to do when I came here. When I came here, the idea was that, I hate to say this because it sounds kind of cliche, but when I first came here, I thought to myself, I'm going to get to know myself without stress. No stress. Nobody telling me what to do. No responsibilities, nothing. I just am me. And I did. And then, of course, the stress starts coming back in. And sometimes you just got to go, hey, you know what? This is part of life. Stress is part of life. A big shout out to my friend Scott, by the way. He's back in the U.S. now, but I want to give him a big shout out. He knows why. He knows what's up. But when I first came over here, it was nice. It was me talking to myself. Well, what do I want to do today? What do I want to do? Let me think here. And there was no noise in the background. Now there's noise. I got my wife. I got my kids, And sometimes I just tell them, hey, shut up. I don't want to hear you. Please, just be quiet. Let me think, which is a scary thing. But that's how it works. So now what I want to do is try to get my voice back. I have a wife like yours. I am covered by Safety Wing insurance for $98 a month, but I haven't considered getting insurance for my entire wife. Your thought? My wife has insurance through her company, so I don't have to worry about it. She has insurance, but they don't cover the family, which that's terrible. I said to her, why don't you say to them, in lieu of a raise this year, just let our family be on the insurance plan, because that's a raise in itself. But that's not going to happen. She doesn't really have that liberty at this point. 196.84. Wow. Yeah, I don't know. I have been thinking about getting like travel insurance, because I'm pissed off at my insurance company. That's why. I'm pissed off at them, because I've had my insurance and they have screwed me around several times. They've done me right a couple of times. And yet they ask me for things that I know they have the answers to. But maybe it's because it used to be Bupa, then it was, what was it? Alliance? It wasn't Alliance. It was something else with an A. And then now it's bought out by Alliance. I don't know what the hell it's called. Let me see here. Alliance Ayuthia. Okay. I don't want to. And the thing is, I was talking to Jono yesterday, who just got his insurance package yesterday. And he's, irritated as hell. But he said, oh, fortunately, they're not making me pay for anything, or they're not saying, oh, we're going to cut that. We're not going to cover you, which is what they do. They're just, I don't know what to say. You can say they're heartless. You can say whatever, right? But I just think something's wrong. Something's very, very wrong here. And I think they need to do better. Really, I think they need to do better. 196. Dean Bateman, 42. I'm 42, so I guess mine is lower. 632.50 for complete in the States. It's 1,200 for a bottom tier HMO with no pre-existing conditions. Jesus Christ. I got all kinds of, listen, I got so many injuries. I don't even remember them all. I'm serious. I got my knee, I got my foot, I got my ankle, I have both of my hands, I've got my shoulder now. They asked me about, I don't even know what it's called, a cardiac cath. Let me see here. Yeah, I had a cardiac catheterization, so that they could check on my heart for some reason. I don't even remember why. I'm really being honest. I don't remember why I had it done. It was like 15 years ago. But I got an all clear. And so my insurance company is like, well, what do you have that done for? Well, you have all my records. I had to go there and get all of my records and turn them over. You know, so I'm irritated with insurance companies. I'm irritated with airlines. I don't like airlines, insurance companies. Yeah, I don't like any of them. So I was thinking maybe I can get some kind of a travel insurance that will work for me. I don't know. We'll have to see. But right now, and my shoulder hurts. Every time I get up from my right side and I have to try to get up, I have to push with my left hand and not really push with my right and just kind of use my core to bring myself up, which is not so easy anymore. So, you know, you get old. I mean, when you're getting old is not for the weak. It's not for the weaklings. It's for people who, you know, they drive right through it. So that's what I got to do. And then, you know, there is the thing that, okay, I still want to stay active. I'm not like, when I say, oh, I want to do whatever I want, I want to just lay back on the sofa. I don't mean that like all the time. I mean, if I feel like chilling out and kicking my feet up, then that's what I feel like doing. I knew you were going to show up today. I always get somebody barging in on my stream. Jesus Christ.
You got a crooked leg over there.
Huh? A crooked leg?
Yeah. Straighten that out.
There we go.
You have to fix it.
That's fine. Now I got a straight leg. I hear Genki is better than Safety Wing, but they're strictly health insurance, so no coverage for I don't need coverage for trip disruption, lost bag. I don't need that, to be honest. You know what I carry? I carry one bag. That's all I ever carry. You know that? I carry one bag.
When flying?
I don't bring a bag to check in ever. I just bring wherever I'm going, I bring my one bag and it goes in the overhead compartment. And that's it. So they can't screw it up. Yeah, Genki Sudo. I think that was a UFC fighter. Yeah, he was in the UFC 38. He fought Butterbean. He's 47 now. Genki Sudo. That's how I remember that. How long did he fight for? Man, he fought for 8 years. Oh, he was in the entertainment industry. Wow. Oh, wow. I don't know. Oh, his teacher was Boss Rutan. Jesus. Kickboxing record 2-4. Mixed MMA 16-4. Okay, yeah, I knew he was pretty good in kickboxing at least. Oh, he beat Ole Larson. I think he lives in Thailand or he lived in Thailand. He beat Hoyler Gracie. He beat Ramon Decker. Oh my God. So Decker fought one fight. He beat Butterbean. He's not bad, man. He's beat some good fighters. Anyway. Oh, he beat Vitor Belfort in. Oh no, he lost to him in grappling. Anyway, I get carried away. We're talking about insurance. I'm talking about Genki Sudo. Yeah, I only carry on, man. That's it. I don't need anything else. So, if you take more than one bag, you have of a JJ. I don't know about that. My wife doesn't take a bag. Does she not have of a JJ? I don't know. I would say that's erroneous. But you know, we get 4 bags between us all, and we have no problem bringing everything on board. We don't ever have to. We don't ever have to check anything in. And you know, one time a while back, we did have to check 2 bags in, and it was $150 at the time. Now it's probably 300. Anyway, so that's what's going on. I'm taking a break, taking a vacation, in case you didn't know that, because I want peace. I want to hear myself think again. But I just want to say, if you've been watching the channel for a long time, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I appreciate any kind of support you've ever given, even if it's just watching. That's fine. That's great. Um, so I'm estimating, sometime at the beginning of next month, end of this month, maybe a quick stream, or maybe not until the end of next month. I don't really know. I'm like I said, I want to work on myself. I have not studied Thai, and I have wanted to study Thai for quite some time, and I can study Thai very easily. My kid has time, um, and well, those are. Listen, they're never going to be the same as in the past, because now is not the same time as 10, 15 years ago. It's not the same period of time. Thailand was different 10 years ago. And that's why I did them then. And then I thought they were getting a bit stale, and I just didn't like doing them. I get tired of telling guys, hey, dummy, why go to a bar for a girlfriend, like a real girlfriend? Set up some kind of arrangement if that's what you want. Set it up to where, she comes over 2, 3 times a week, and you give her, I don't know, you give her 15,000 baht a month or whatever, Robert, I really don't care how I sound. And no, I don't listen. I hate listening to myself. I really do. I hate it. I hate watching myself. I hate listening to myself. And quite frankly, I really don't care about how I am, how I sound. I really don't care. I'll be honest. The only thing I care is, do I get my point across? Do people understand me? Do they think I'm legitimate? Do they think I have a decent reputation? And do I make any money at all for something that I do? Not do I get rich, because I know I'm never going to get rich. Not from this. Somehow I don't think I'm going to be PewDiePie. What? You see, calm down, Scott. I'm just giving you the business. What makes you think I'm not calm? Oh my God. But thank you for giving me the business, Robert. Giving you the business. I appreciate that. I appreciate getting the business from you, Robert. Listen, that's why some people like me, some people don't. And if they don't like me, oh well. And if they like me, oh, very nice. I'm not here to make anybody happy just by catering to them, you know? And that's how I always think. I'm not here to make anybody super happy just by going, well, let me just kiss your ass a little bit, and that way you're going to feel good. No, I don't live in that era. I live in the era of, I grew up 50 years ago, where you could say what you want, and if you had to back it up, then you had to back it up. You did whatever you had to do. Now, I'm not saying that I need to do that now, because I'm a little old. I don't want to do that. I don't want any problems. I like just skating through life. No problems, no nothing. That's the way. And honestly, I think that's the best way to do it. I think when you get older, you realize, why am I fighting this? For what reason? Why do I have to be right about this? I don't have to be right about shit. Nobody pays me to be right all the time. The only thing that I ever got paid for was writing in magazines and giving photographs to the people. But when I was writing in magazines, nobody said, Scott, you have to be right all the time. Just give your opinion. Okay, I got one. No problem. You know, and that was it. I gave an opinion of a fight once that took place in Borneo. I was the only white guy at the fight, and it was a huge fight. It was a championship fight. And the guy who everybody thought was going to win, he lost. And that particular team, I had spent with them I spent the whole week with them. I like the guy. I like both guys, but I like that guy. He was a Mexican, Juan Manuel Marquez. I like the guy, and his team came to me and said, we trust your opinion. Tell us what you think. I said, listen, it was a close fight. However, you had 2 points taken away. I think you lost. And they went, okay. And then that was it. Then now people outside of the country, oh, Malin doesn't know what he's talking about. And then there were other people going, oh yeah, he was dead on. He had the points down. He had everything right. They thought I was great. So you can't please everybody all the time, you know. And I don't claim to. Even my wife, she's always like, she wants to be happy all the time. Oh, let's do this, let's do that. And sometimes I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. So she's not happy all the time. Sometimes she's like, doesn't your wife get pissy with you sometimes?
Never.
Yeah, right. Now I know that's bullshit.
Never not pissy.
Yes. So how are you doing, Tom?
I'm doing great. Life is good. Not sure when we're going to close on the house.
I thought you were.
Well, we're waiting for the lady to get back from.
Oh, that's right.
Trump's
Understood.
attack on Iran made.
Oh God.
Iran attacked Qatar, and the owner of the house we're buying lives in Qatar. She's got to come back to sign the.
That sounds pretty bad. My wife wants to be happy all the time, and I'm like, no, I can't give her everything. I'm sorry. I mean, I like to give her a lot of things, and I want her to be happy. But sometimes, she's got ridiculous requests. Doesn't yours?
Sometimes you give the ridiculous requests, and
sometimes you don't.
Where it's within your means.
Exactly.
Purview to do so.
The lights are going on. What is this? What is going on here? Yeah, I always have problems with it. This computer is 14 years old.
Nothing wrong with it. It's old.
No, it's just old, and sometimes it's a little slow. I don't know why I can't do that. I can't even see this yet. Hi, I'm from New Mexico. I am wondering if you've been to Canome. Yes, I've been to Canome. I have videos up on Canome. And the area down there by that air base. You're talking about the Thai air base and your thoughts about we're looking for a slow-paced area and hoping the burn season is not as bad. I love Canome. Canome is very nice. Now, what I will say is that the beaches in Canome are not really all. I wouldn't call them real nice. They're okay. But I went out to find the pink dolphins of Canome. We didn't find them. Sons of bitches. They didn't let me find the dolphins. But they are there sometimes. Now, I went out and I thought to myself, why did I? Honestly, I'll tell you how I thought. I thought to myself.
Why don't you tell me how you thought?
Thank you. I thought to myself, if I was on this boat and the boat went down, how long would I last? Would I make it to land? Now, maybe I would make it to land. I don't know. Maybe it'd be too damn windy and I would just get pushed wherever I get pushed and I'd get lucky. But I thought that's kind of, I don't know. I got to think about that if I want to go again. But Canome is a nice place and very quiet. There were times I was on the road on a motorcycle and there were no cars or very few cars, very few motorcycles. I mean, I was like almost alone. Lots of coffee shops, good restaurants, stuff like that. There is the part of the city is okay. And then if you go to Sichon a little farther south, it's even more quiet. And the beaches are even more quiet and they're a little nicer. So yeah, I mean, I like it there. Those are two of my favorite places. But you know, even there, I think about, do I want to live there? And I don't know. I don't know now if I would live there. It's still, you know, 2, 3 hours away from a big hospital, and I'm always thinking of that now. Well, I mean, think about it, aren't you?
Really?
If you're in a place and it's 3 hours away, you got to think, hey, would I say they're better than Hua Hin beaches? Ooh, that's a tough one.
You know, my idea is I'm 65. I got a good life. If I die tomorrow, I'm okay with it. Really. The problem is if I
I'm
don't.
not.
The problem is if I don't die.
Oh, yeah, that's a big problem. That's the worst problem. If
Yeah.
you don't die, that's the big
Yeah.
problem.
You just
If you're
almost,
like,
almost
you're
die.
in the hospital and you're racking up the bill,
Yeah.
that's terrible. I'd be like, fly me home. Put me in the VA where I'm free. Let me die and they'll bury me, you know.
And I've now got Medicare that flies me back to the States if I have an emergency.
Medicare does?
My Part C
Oh, that stuff you
Advantage
pay
plan,
for?
my Advantage plan, it cost me $10 a month.
Right. And that pays for you to fly.
For an emergency evac to the States.
Oh, wow. How much for the emergency evac?
Several $100,000.
That's not enough.
I don't know how much.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot.
I think that somebody told me the emergency evac is somewhere around $2 million now. And I was like, are you kidding me? Would you say Canome beaches are a little better than Hua Hin beaches? I don't know. They're both. I think that the Canome beaches are definitely more isolated and there's not as many people. As far I look at the water, and I think the water in Hua Hin might be a little better, but it's not a huge difference. I do think that the beaches of Sichon are a little better than Hua Hin, and it's really, I mean, even Hua Hin, Cha'am, Prajuap, I think they're better than all of them, and I think it's maybe not Prajuap, but I think they're a little bit better because they're just more isolated. I mean, I went and flew my drone all up and down the beaches of Sichon, and there wasn't one person out. There was nobody there going, "Hey, what are you doing?" Or they weren't like, "Oh, wow, look at that." There was nobody. I had nobody there, so it was great. You know, really good. Now, please do me a favor. Click the thumbs up button if you would. It doesn't cost you anything. I'm not asking for money. You don't have to just hit the thumbs up. That's all you got to do. You know, it'll take you a second and a little tiny bit of energy, and that's all you have to do. People staring at me. She was like gawking at me, like, "What are you doing?" I like the beaches of Hua in Cha'am, but I love Da Nang. I've been to Da Nang, and I forget the name of the beach, but they had it set up so that you couldn't go outside of the nets. They had like two big long nets going this way, and you couldn't go on either side of them. And if you went, the lifeguard came up to you and went, "No, no, you can't go. Go back in." And I didn't like that. But I'll tell you, Hua Hin and Cha'am, you know, I really I don't mean to be negative, but I've been here a long time and I've been to these places many, many times. I mean, even Hua Hin, I've been there 5, 6 times. It's boring, you know. And even Jono and I were talking yesterday, and he says, "I forgot that I don't know how to say the word bored." Blah. Okay. Blah. I'm already bored, you know. And Prajuap, I used to think it was a nice place. The last time that I went, there were so many people on the boardwalk, and I just went, "This kind of sucks," you know. I don't want to be around so many people. Yeah, I know. And that's kind of like Phuket. And I'll be honest, I like Vietnam and I like Da Nang. I like Da Nang better than Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh. But I just I don't like Vietnam because of the way that their country is. And I mean that in, first of all, you got to worry about the visas. That is a pain in the ass. It's a pain in the ass. If you want to get a long-term visa there, you have no retirement visa. They don't have one. Now, they're talking about the golden visa. Oh, you can be part of the golden, I know this because I see Nomad Capitalist, and I believe me, I read the same shit that he reads. I read all the same stuff. I got messages coming to my email boxes are automatically sent there. And I know exactly what's going on. So by the time he's got his video up, I already know what's going on. Doesn't mean he doesn't know what's happening, but I'm just saying. The golden visa in Vietnam, it's supposed to be 150,000 buy-in just so you can get your visa. 150 grand. Now, do I trust the country? Not really.
Trump announced a new tariff deal with them today.
With who? Vietnam?
Vietnam, zero full access to tariff.
Okay, but that doesn't mean I'm going to trust them with
I know.
my money.
It might indicate something is about to change. That's all.
Yeah, Hua Hin's a lot slower paced. Okay, I can do it. I can tell you that Sichuan and Kanom are even slower than Hua Hin. Hua Hin, I'll be honest, Dean. I went to Hua Hin about 2.5 years ago with Billy and myself and Patia Bob. We all went down there. Oh, we're going on a big trip. Okay. I mean, it was a nice time. We hung out together and everything. But there were a couple of things. First of all, we're walking down the streets. There are many, many coffee shops, little restaurants, shop houses, all set up for foreigners. Not only that, I got to the main street and I just went, man, this place has got traffic up the yin yang. I couldn't believe it. I was in shock. I was like, and that was a couple of years ago. I was like, wow, how come there's so much traffic? Now, I was staying at the Hilton, but when we went out and we walked down a ways, I mean, they have nice little coffee shops and everything, not necessarily cheap or nor expensive. But I was really shocked about Hua Hin, and I just went, this has changed my view. When I first started going to Hua Hin, it was a place where Thais went for their vacation, and there were very few foreigners there. And I went there, and I was like, wow, this place is great, man. Then I went, a couple of years ago, and a couple of trips later, and I just went, I don't like this place anymore. Koh Payam, I went to Koh Chang, which is right next to it. Not Koh Chang in the east, Koh Chang in the south. And it's right next to it. And I didn't go there because there's too much. It's a party island. It's a little bit more of a party island than Koh Chang. I like Koh Chang in the south because it was so quiet. I really liked it. Now, I don't know if I would go back because it's so quiet, you have nothing to do there. You're in your bungalow. You either go to the beach, go swimming, do yoga, do your Tai Chi or whatever the hell you do. But they don't have any cars on the island. I always forget the name of those friggin' birds. What are those big birds?
Storks?
No.
Ibis? Cormorants?
You're way off.
Those are all medium to large sized birds.
The great hornbill.
Oh, the hornbill. Okay.
Yeah.
That was on my list, but way down there.
Yes, there you go. Thank you, Dale. You remember. I always got to look it up because it's not important enough for me to remember. You're funny. The ostrich. The emu. It's the emu, yeah. The dodo. But for somebody a little younger, I'd say probably Kopayam is nice. Or for somebody who's older and doesn't mind, being around stuff like that. But when I went to Kwachang, I went to the what do you call it? The Sea Gypsy Village, because they don't only live out at sea now; they live on land. And um, I went in there, and that was kind of sad, to be honest, because they're living on like a rocky beach, and they're living in old wooden houses that, I mean, they're old, and they're not very, I don't know, it's just not a very hygienic place, anything like that. There are bowling alleys here, but there's not as many as there used to be. There used to be a bowling alley in every mall. There used to be a bowling alley in this mall. You remember that?
Oh yeah, there used to be one
One
over
over
there.
there too. Yeah, I think there's still one there. I think there still is one there, but there's not one here. Let me see. And there's
I've
one.
been over there so long.
There's one down. There's one down Sukhumvit at Mega. What the hell is it? Mega something, where they have the movie theater. Um, yeah. Okay. Major Cineplex. Okay, that's Sukhumvit, Rama One, Esplanade. It's usually the bigger malls, something like Esplanade. Um, and a game costs between 80 and 160 baht, depending on the time of day. And of course, you have to wear their stinky shoes.
Can't bring your own.
I don't know. MBK has the cinema and bowling alley on the top floor. Yeah. I used to like bowling, and I bowled a 248 once, and I thought I'm gonna become a bowler. And then like the next game was like a 135, something like that. I was on a hot streak, and then the next thing I know, I was not. No problem, no problem.
My grandfather was a champion bowler, had trophies all over the place.
Really? I would say it's like everything else. I mean, it's like pool.
Yeah.
You got to put the practice in. I mean, there was a time, honestly.
He played twice a week.
No, I didn't play
No,
twice a week. Oh, he played twice. There was a time when I lived here, and this is a couple years in, and I was struggling. I wasn't with my wife yet or anything, and I was hanging out in the bars all the time, right? But there used to be a couple of pool halls. There was one down on Sukhumvit Soy. Is it one or two? One. And then there was another one on Sukhumvit Soy 7/1. And what I used to do was go in the afternoon, and I would just play. And if you won, you didn't have to pay. So I would win most of the time. I didn't have to pay that much. So I mean, I might pay 200 baht for all day. But then the Filipinos came, and they started gambling. And so I would go, all right, maybe I can hustle this guy, because I was good. And so for about a year, probably I would say I paid my bills for about 3 or 4 months by what I won. I mean, it was like $800 or something like that. But that was over the course of, say, a week or two. Now I haven't played in years, and I'm sure I'm shit. I mean, I know the basics. You got to, but that's it.
All the Tucson, Arizona's best pool sharks hung out on Sunday night at one bar, and I hung out there also.
Uh-huh.
And they picked me as their partner in doubles because they knew I wouldn't screw up the table. I mean, I'm not good, but I'm also not the point where I screw up the table.
Yeah.
For them.
Da Nang is boring after 2 days. Well, I didn't really find it that way. I think we stayed there 4 or 5 days. We went to where is Bonnet Hills? Let me see something here. Well, that's not Da Nang. Damn it. There's a city town. next to the I can't remember it. Dementia. Hoi An. Uh, we were with. I was with my whole family, and I was with my buddy. So we would hang out. Like sometimes we would hang out at night, just shoot the shit, drink beer, drink wine, whatever. Just sit up on the top roof, and that's what we would do. Uh, we would always go out to dinner. Sometimes we'd go out to lunch. We'd be like, "Hey, do you want to go?" Yeah, okay. Um, and we go out for a coffee in the morning or something like that, and maybe we go somewhere. We went to the tailor for my buddy in Hoi An. We went to uh, Bonnet Hills, which is a uh, what the hell do they call that? It's like a, let me see here. I don't know what they call it.
Sorry, I gotta show you that.
Let's see what it's called. Bonnet Hills Sunworm Theme Park. Right. And it's about 1,200 baht a person to get in. Okay, show me. Let's see, threaten with boycott for
a picture.
Jim, what's happening? How you doing? Yeah, we went to Bonnet Hills, and what I would say is it's good for one time, and maybe if you're really into it, you go at night also. And it was really cool. And what do they call those things? See, I'm losing my train of thought all the time now. Well, there's plenty of places to play golf. Um, I would just say travel around a little bit, and if you want to play golf and bowl, find the place that's best for you. You can do that. But we went to Bonnet Hills, Sunworld Bonnet Hills, and it's called the Heaven on Earth in Hoi An, which is in Da Nang. But they have the tram that takes you up about 1,500 feet? Yeah, about 1,500 feet above sea level. And I mean, it was really nice, but it is a tourist trap, just like Disney World. Wife was suggesting that we go to Da Nang and Hoi An, probably go in October. Yeah, we may go somewhere in the next couple of days. I don't know. We may go to an island or somewhere. I don't know. We may go to Canoe if my wife gives in. I don't know. You know,
I don't know where that is.
Canoe. It's down in the south. Instead of going right into the inland of Suratani, you if you just go and cut over a little bit, you'll hit the edge of where Canoe is, and from there you can go to several islands. But if you keep going down south, not a lot of people go down there, and it's really nice, really peaceful there. Yeah, and I shot some video there, and it was all right. I mean, you know, we had some Thai food there because they had a Thai restaurant. We went where they have the hands where they're like this, and you walk on them. It was very interesting. But it was such a tourist trap. I went there and I just went, I'm taking one for the team because I would never go there by myself. You know, it's the kind of place you go there with a girlfriend so she can jump up and down and clap her hands. You know, and for me, I mean, go once, go twice, but that's it. And then if you go in the town a little bit, there's all kinds of stuff. I mean, they have, they have all kinds of seafood restaurants there, right on the water. You can just go and walk and eat whatever you want there. We met. My friend knew these two people who had lived in the city for about 3 years, and we went out to dinner with them, and they picked the place, and we went into the restaurant, and we all ate our food there, and it was really good. We had, everything was Vietnamese. It was very good. And then we went on our way. We were only there we went there one time, and we spent the whole day there. And then we went back the next afternoon just to pick up my buddy's suit. And I don't know if you remember that, but there was a video up of my buddy talking to the lady and sweet talking her, and she was sweet talking him. It's all a bunch of bullshit, But but he went and got his jacket, and he's done that before because he wears a jacket, and so he had asked me to go to my tailor and take his measurements and have the tailor make his clothes for him, and we did that, and they were pretty good. They were almost dead on. So that worked, but the only thing about I think Vietnam is a great place. I think it's a great place to go. You definitely don't want to get in trouble there. And, there's a lot of exploring you can do, especially if you want to go inland, because everybody goes down the coast, or they go down south. I stay at TMS Hotel, corner room, 2 balconies, right across the Maya Club. Okay. What was the name of that? Phu Quoc. I think that's what it is. Phu Quoc. Yeah, that's in the south of, no, it's the south of Vietnam.
There's a Fukuoka, Japan.
Which is better, Phuket or Phu Quoc? While Phu Quoc offers a more laid-back journey, Phuket provides a bustling gateway to many international destinations. Sorry. I would say I'm done with Phuket. I am done with Phuket. I will, if I have it my way, I will never go there again. Ever. I don't care if you got money, you don't have money, whatever. I just don't want to go there. I just think it's overrun with tourists, Russian tourists, whatever kind of tourists. It's just overrun. I mean, I went to one beach. I walked down to this beach and I go, this beach is absolutely packed full of people. Why do I want to be here? Oh, because I wanted to fly the drone. I don't know, I don't have the appeal for place. I don't have the draw. No place draws me in that quickly anymore. I always know, oh, is this going to be a pain in the ass? Is this going to be great? Is it going to be a tourist trap? If it's going to be a tourist trap, most of the time, I do not want to go. Now, I was watching a show yesterday, and it was about sharks, great whites. And still on my bucket list, I still would like to go to South Africa and go shark diving or just photograph the sharks breaching. The problem is, in the place where they usually were, they're not there that much anymore because killer whales go there, and the killer whales have learned to rip their liver out, which is like 600 pounds of a shark. They rip their liver out and eat their liver. That's what they eat. They don't eat the rest of the shark. They just come up, they set them up and they kill the shark, and that's what they do. So now I don't know how many sharks would be there if I'd be able to go see it. It'd be a little bit tricky. And I know the guy to ask. Camps Bay in South Africa, lots of whites. Yeah, well, one of the things is to photograph them, like, breaching. Do they breach? And the other thing is to go diving, like one day. Just one day, 1 or 2 days, go diving with them. I'll be in a cage because they can sense if you're nervous, and I don't think I want to be out with some 20-foot, 15-foot, 20-foot great white. I don't want that. I'd rather be in a cage, and they can still get you in the cage. But what were you gonna say?
A 10-foot reef shark was scary enough for me, but I still stayed in the water and followed it.
Oh, I've been in the water with sharks before. I went diving, and I learned to dive in the Bahamas. I just don't dive now because when I fell, I punctured my lung. And if you puncture your lung, you need to go into the tank, into the whatever they call it, decompression chamber, and you need to see if your lung's going to hold up. And so it's expensive. And I think the nearest, I don't know if they have one now in the south of Thailand, but they have it in Australia.
Were you close enough to your sharks to feel their tail? Their tail
We were
fins?
close.
Did you feel their tail fins?
No, I
swoosh by
didn't
your
feel
foot?
their. I didn't feel them
I did.
swoosh by me, but there were a lot of sharks where I
I
was.
did.
Well, I guess that makes you better than me.
It makes me a different experience.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I went to Hue also, and you know, Hue was. I mean, it was good if you just wanted to see the old army stuff. If I remember correctly, that's where I went to party a little bit. I mean, they had a whole street that you just all you did was party on this street. And I still remember the Australian guy who came up to me. He's like, "Hey, mate, he's I'm his best friend." And I was trying to be friendly. I said, "Okay." And he said, "You want a beer?" "Yeah, yeah, I'll get a beer." Okay. I get the beer, and the girl's like, "Okay, that'll be, whatever it was, however many dong." So the guy's standing there. I paid for it. I went, "Okay." Now I don't know this guy. So he's sitting there talking to me for about 5 minutes. Next thing I know, he's gone. I don't know where he went. He left. He just bailed. And I went, I'm not buying him another beer. Way has Old Capitol Complex. I don't know what that is, but it was nice I went for 3 days and 2 nights. And then I moved on and went to Quignon, which Quignon is top notch, man. I like Quignon a lot. Not Trang, okay. But Quignon that place was not to be missed, man. There was a lot of stuff to do there. And, I had a nice little room. It was like $18 a night. And the room was really nice. It was a little bit small, but it was nice. And the girl who worked there, I don't know what her name was or anything, but I mean, it was like, I was like, "Oh, I'm looking for this type of food." She goes, "Oh, this?" And I said, "Yeah." She goes, "1 minute." She goes, "When do you want to go?" I said, "Well, I'm going to go like right now." And she goes, "Okay, let's go." I go, "Let's go." She goes, "Yeah, I take you on my motorcycle." I go, "Oh, okay." So she drives me down to this place, drops me off. She goes, "All you got to do is walk this way and then take a left and go straight, and you'll be back to the place in 10 minutes." I go, "Oh, okay, cool." So I went to this place and ate. I think it was Bunbei. Was it Bunbei Ho, or I forget, Bunhui Bo or something like that. I don't remember. I ate so much food there. I don't remember what the hell it's called. But it was nice. I mean, listen, I like going there, and I'll probably go back to Vietnam, but I want to go somewhere different. I don't want to go and, "Oh, I'm in Ho Chi Minh. Oh, I'm in Hanoi. Oh, Hanoi. Wow, I'm gonna have some coffee here." It's just boring now. I mean, I've been there like 3 or 4 times now. Went with my wife alone. Been with myself. I've been there by myself alone a couple of times. I mean, I took the boat from down the Mekong, up the Mekong or whatever, down the Mekong, um, and went to Luang. I went from Luang Prabang, and then from there I took the bus to Hanoi, and that sucked. But we were all right. It was not bad. Good little trips. I'm glad I took them, and now they're done, and that's it. So that's the way it goes. All right, guys, we got about 5 minutes left. I am not gonna do a 2-hour stream today. There's no way. This is my last stream for a while. I just want to do, 90 minutes. That's enough. I'm just shooting the shit today. So, but hopefully, when I come back, I'll have something to talk about. I'll be somewhere. I'll be doing something. I don't know, but I need some time off. So that's what I'm gonna do. But I appreciate everybody joining in on the stream, and thank you for the thank you very much. What's going on with this thing here? Yeah. Get some rest and come back. Stay in touch. Okay. We'll do. Ban Pong. I don't know. Let me see. Oh, it's on the west side. Oh, it's Ratchaburi. No, I don't think I've been there. In fact, I know I haven't been there. Come back with a fury. That's it. Come back with a fury. That's the thing. I don't feel like I'm in the mode to be in a fury right now. I feel like I'm in a mode where I'm like half asleep, honestly. So that's why I need a break. I need a rest. What is it? Let me take you far away. What is it? Let me take you far away. You like to. Oh, a holiday. Yeah, Holiday by Scorpions. That's a good song. Very good song. Very appropriate for me. Anyway, I guess that's all I got. So, thank you very much. Yeah, I need to hang out with some Israelis. That's what it is. Happy 4th of July, everybody. Today's what? Well, it's the 3rd right now. So it is the 2nd in America. Well, have a happy 4th of July. Have a nice barbecue and all that good stuff. And I will talk to you whenever I come back. I don't know when. If we leave and we go somewhere, maybe I will do a quick stream. But other than that, I'm done for at least a couple of weeks, maybe a couple of months. I don't know. So thank you very much. And in case you don't know, I am Scott. I'm an American in Bangkok. Chok Di Leo Jerken Mai, which means, if you don't remember this, Chok Di means good luck. Jerken Mai means see you again. God damn it, I just bit my tongue again. I'm doing it all the time. I bite my tongue all the time. I got a fucking scab on my tongue from biting my tongue. I bit my tongue the other day and it was bleeding. I'm like, why am I biting my tongue all the time? My jaw moved. Anyway, now you know what's going on in my life. I'll talk to you all later. Take care.